in this episode, well, it's still Pride Month, so we're going to continue talking about Pride stuff. And bonus, we have been around a few decades, so we're going to talk about Pride then and now.
Welcome to the podcast where it's all about living your love story and making your life and world a story where love wins. My name is Siena.
And my name is Toast. We've been partners in life, love, and music since 2001. Welcome to our podcast. Happy yappy, lappy Pride.
It's still Pride Month. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about all things Pride and lesbian. But first, we want to tell you about a fantastic fairly new Facebook and Instagram page account called Ook Curious. Ook Curious.
For ukulele curious LGBTQ people and allies.
Yes.
What a
Very
great
exciting.
name.
Created by Ellen Hobbs. She happened to see our video that we did for Romero Creations, and we messaged a little bit, and we were like, "Oh my God, this is so great! Ooh, curious!" And so we joined and followed, and we will be participating in some of the days for Ook Curious's Pride Month Ukulele Challenge, which is on June 24th and goes all the way through the end of the month, June 30th. You can participate if you are LGBTQ+, or if you're an ally and you love the ukulele.
But you cannot be a bully or an a-hole.
Yes.
She specifically said,
according to Ellen,
you cannot be a bully or an a-hole.
You can practically be anything but a bully or an asshole. And all you need to do is upload your video and hashtag it with Ook for Pride 2021. You can also check out her, it's just a guideline, her prompts for each day.
Right? Ideas for what kinds of songs to share.
Yeah, a song from 1968, a song from,
69?
I don't know.
See, we don't even know.
Anyways, we will be participating in a few of those days. And if you are not an asshole or a bully and you love the ukulele, please consider joining. Okay. I love that guideline.
Yeah, me too.
So, we have been around the block. Toast and I have been around the block. This year, we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary together. So you can kind of try and figure out what that might mean in terms of how much we've been around the block. But anyways, things have changed.
In this alphabet soup world.
LGBTQ world, yes.
So we just thought we'd have fun kind of walking down memory lane. And kind of like this is the museum of the mind of a couple of Asian American lesbians who were born and raised in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. But we've now lived about half of our lives on the continent or the mainland.
Yep.
So yeah. First of all, I think it's I think it's kind of funny. I can actually remember when the acronym was not so solidly LGBT, QIA, POC, whatever,
Yeah.
Like before it used to be like, it may have been GLB, right? And
even GL.
GL, yeah, it kind of just shifted around, but over the years, it obviously has solidified into LGBT. And so it's like, hey, as lesbians, we can say we made it to the, we kept that front spot. Mm-hmm. We're number one. L.
Yep. And the older
letters.
folks.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Will be LGBT. The older folks have gotten used to adding that Q. But I don't think we can handle much more.
Because before, you used to just, choose a letter. Choose a letter. Those are the ones available. LGBT. Mm-hmm. Choose one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you want to be B, that's fine. Whatever. But then they added on the Q.
Mm-hmm. And too many letters, and now it's just LGBTQ plus. I believe that's where we are right now.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. We can do a plus to make it easier on all of us.
And, I do wonder if I had been growing up in the social climate of today, maybe I would not have chosen the L.
I think you would have chosen a T.
I may have chosen the Q. Or you notice F is not in there for fluid.
Oh, you think you're fluid?
I don't know. What does that mean? If I can just make up what it means, yeah, I'll be that.
You don't think you don't think you would be trans? Because trans doesn't. There's
I might
a,
be trans.
There's
I might be trans.
a spectrum, right?
Right.
Some trans they do the operation. Some for some trans people, from what I understand, the operation is a must.
Right.
Some it's just the top. Right. Depending. And some don't go through that.
Yeah.
But I think hormones are a part of it. So do you?
I don't know, because for sure, right? Because that's a whole alternate parallel universe. But we had an interesting discussion, you and I, last night about they're not pronouns. What are they called?
Nouns.
Nouns. like Siena asked me, she's like, so if somebody calls you girl, like, hey girl, like, how do you feel like about that? And what I was able to tell her for sure was that, okay, I would prefer...
Your answer, you had it ready.
I was very solid. I know how I feel about this. If somebody calls me girl, I'm totally fine with that. I'm like, yeah, I'm a girl.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, I'm totally used to it.
Okay,
let's put it that way.
Yes.
Totally comfortable with it. Therefore. But I'm a little less comfortable with the noun woman. And I'm even less comfortable with the noun ladies.
So ladies is on the bottom. That
so
doesn't sound right.
So to speak.
Anyways. And then I told Toast, I said, well, you would have died at my school, my private Catholic all-girls school, because all they did was call us ladies. Left and right, it was ladies. Ladies. All right, ladies. You would have died.
But then maybe I would have gotten used to it. Therefore, if that's what was always being used.
Possibly.
And then the additional add-on is that if somebody were to call me boy, I would not feel comfortable with that, because I'm not a boy. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
That feels wrong. So that's why girl is like, that's the best one for me. Anyway.
What about sir? You've been called sir a lot.
Yes, I have been called sir many times in my life. No, that doesn't work.
No, but does that mean, I know you feel bad for the person when they realize you're not a sir.
Yes.
And that's the feeling that's predominant, right?
Yes,
that's
right.
Predominantly.
That's what's always the discomfort with there's when I have been called boy or
so it's not so much that you feel embarrassed.
Or son. I was called son in the past too.
Yes.
Oh my God.
These boxes. It's so, and I don't have that problem at all. I've never been called sir.
Right.
I never will be. Or son. Yeah. Never. That's also something I think, from back in the day, there were definitely way less feminine looking lesbians back in
that were out. Maybe they were there.
That were
yes,
that were out. Yeah. Now it seems to be more feminine looking.
Are you
lesbians.
saying that now there are more out of the lesbians that are out there, that more of them seem to be feminine looking than masculine looking? Is that what you're saying?
It seems like that.
Ah, okay.
It seems like that. Okay. Or maybe it's just level now.
That's true.
you know,
and it seems like there's more because there never
because
used to be that many.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you find that to be true too?
I guess so. I know you've made that observation a lot, and I always kind of chalk that up to you being more active on our CNN Toast Instagram account. So you're seeing the social media posts that are out there,
right,
in LGBTQ land, and I kind of don't.
And is that a representation of everything? No, it's not. But it just seems like there's a lot more.
Yeah. Which I think is great. I mean, as long as if people can just be...
you would think it's great.
Well, no,
of course you would.
If people can just be themselves, that's what I think is great. Another thing I think that is really great, and it does strike me, and I kind of marvel at it every now and then when I see it, especially since this Pride Month, is just how high profile the LGBT community has gotten. And I'm talking about just the recognition of such a thing as Pride season or Pride Month, and learning about the history of LGBTQ rights and equality, and recognizing that we deserve equal rights, and that we're human beings, and that we have a history of this stuff, and that being a celebrated thing in the mainstream. When I have seen, for example, documentaries, like you go on Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and you see the thumbnails of what they're featuring.
Yeah.
And it's there. Oh, there's a whole documentary series about Pride. Yeah. Also on Apple Music, because we subscribe to Apple Music, they have a whole series of playlists and things about,
which I think,
it's Pride. And I'm just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this have been amazing to have been able to see this in such high profile mainstream media outlets as a teenager?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How amazing.
Yeah. Because you'd have access, because other than that, it would have been coming from a little town, trying to get to a bigger town that has maybe a little Pride festival, yeah. So I think it's really great for
it's amazing.
The generations coming up now.
It really is incredible, because I remember being in my 20s, early 20s, I think it was, and the only appearance of getting notifications.
Sorry, that's me.
The only visibility I had into the fact that LGBTQ people existed was through publications that were alternative.
Yes.
You had, I literally was made aware of The Advocate magazine by some friends I just happened to make who are lesbian. And they put a few magazines into one of those plastic supermarket bags and just gave it to me so I could look at it. And I was like, oh my God, wow, look at this. And if I wanted to get any for myself, I had to go to a special magazine store. Where,
was there a code word?
No.
A special knock?
No, but I feel like there practically could have been or needed to be, because you couldn't just, go to
the market, to the magazine section.
Right. It was not at 7-Eleven.
Or by the checkout? Impulse buy?
It was not at the checkout. You had to go to a special magazine store where they sold all kinds of magazines, from stuff about guns and Black Belt magazine. And then they had the porn, that's where they also had porn magazines. And that's the same place where you could actually get The Advocate, and it just makes you feel a certain way. If you have to go to that kind of store just to be able to be acknowledged by a media outlet. Yeah. So it's fantastic that it's so mainstream now.
Yeah. When my first year in college, there were no LGBTQ groups. What's wrong with what's up with that, right?
Wow.
So the closest thing for me was a women's group, like a women's group.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a really different time.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I have said many times over the years, like, we were born just in time.
Yeah.
Like, thank God.
And, I think it's just, I don't know, it's kind of sad sometimes when you think about how, like in my college experience, you're in this sea of people from all different places and walks of life, studying different things. You're on this campus and you're really at that age, right? So like 19, 20, you're really looking for affirmation and,
without knowing that you're looking for affirmation.
yeah, like affirmation and just, commonality and bonding. You're looking for
your people.
Yeah, you're looking for your people. And I just, and I remember it was hard to find my people because first of all, I would have been considered femme. So the dykes, which I think for some people in this time, in this generation now, is like that you're not supposed to use that, but hey, we're older, we can. It's fine. So no one ever thought I was gay. So there wasn't the gaydar look.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, and then the extra smile, the nod of the head, the acknowledgement without any words, right?
Right.
And then you just feel you stand a little taller, you have a little pep in your step, feeling like,
and you feel like
I'm not
alone. Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. So I feel like for me, college was kind of lonely because I came from an all-girls school that had a lot of lesbians. Now I'm going to a college where I feel like, where are the lesbians? Where are my people? And I thought it was hard. And then I also, what was interesting is that when I went to college, that's when my girlfriend at the time and we broke up. But I had been with her like 7 years. I'd been with her for so long. So here I am, single, young in college, looking for my people. And I happened to run into a former classmate of mine.
From high school?
From high school.
Okay. Okay.
And she told me, oh, I'm with a woman now.
Oh, and she hadn't been.
She hadn't been. So,
okay.
Yeah. So she's bi.
Okay.
If we want to box her, right?
Right.
So I was like, oh, and she's femme looking. And so she goes, come with us to the bar. And here, I think was I 19?
Yeah, you weren't of age yet.
No, I wasn't of age. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, but I was kind of depressed and sad from the breakup. And I was just like, okay, let's go, whatever. But then, so her older sister is gay.
Okay.
And so the older sister and the girlfriend, they were kind of leading the way. They were totally of age. They knew what they were doing. They knew where to go. So here we are following them. And my friend, she's been through this, right? She knows it's her sister. She's gone here before. I'm the newbie. So then we go to this place and it's like it's like hidden. And even that doesn't make you feel so great, right?
Right.
So it's hidden. I'm like, where are we going? We're going down this little alley, taking a left, then taking a right. And then I'm like, where is it? And then you see these stairs that are just making a beeline to heaven. Like it's just, and I'm like, what are this narrow staircase? We're going up these stairs, then into a door and then into another door. And I'm
now,
like,
I've never read Harry Potter, but it sounds like it's some kind of Harry Potter thing.
Then we get in there. And I was just like so uncomfortable. so uncomfortable, and yet here's my people. Here's my people. And I think part of it because it felt so like you're not supposed to be doing this. It's hidden. It's like, plus I was underage. I mean, so there's all kinds of things with it, right?
but if you were underage in a straight, a regular bar, it would have felt different. It wouldn't have felt so uncomfortable.
Yeah, because we probably would have parked in the parking lot, walked straight through those doors. You can see
in front of God and everybody.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was so hidden and so weird, and then my friend and I were the only femmes in there, and so it was kind of like, it's like having a spotlight on you going in there because we're the only femmes, right? We were rare then.
Okay, so here, this question I'm going to ask might sound
offensive.
Offensive is a good word, but I'm just going to ask it because you know my heart, and it's not being offensive. So, did you kind of feel like when you walked in there that it was, and you were part of a freak show? Like, would you say that phrase or that kind of way to compare it would be helpful in trying to describe the feeling of discomfort and the feeling of awkwardness? Or
I don't know if it was on the level of freak.
No, okay.
I
don't think it would have been on the level of that. I didn't
feel that odd.
Okay.
Like that odd part of it.
Okay. But
I did not like the spotlight feeling.
Okay.
I thought I could just be in there and then just like, kind of check it out myself. But it was a lot. And it felt, I felt like I wanted to hide, and then people back then, like just brave, like people would come up to me and I just kept telling, it was just too much because, if for people listening to this podcast, if you've been listening for a while, I'm energetically sensitive. I'm empathic. I'm more of an introvert. I don't like that spotlight thing. And so it was hard. So I was just telling people, I just got out of a relationship. I just got out of a relationship. Sure. Like I was just saying that because I didn't want all of that. But went back the next week. Got used to it. Got a little more used to it. I even went to in college. So I went to summer school to get. I took. Is it called summer school?
You're a good student.
I went to
like that.
Whatever. Anyways,
you're one of those.
I would even go. Yeah. So my friend and I. So thank God for my friend at the time because she really helped me to realize there are more fish in the sea, kind of a thing. And so, she'd go, okay, come meet me. And I'm like, I have to study. She's like, oh, you have to study. So I would bring my books to the bar. That's such a geek. I would bring my books to the bar. Okay, anyways, but things have changed now.
Now you just log online.
You log the bar. Or you download the app.
Right? Exactly. Books. What are those?
So, I thought you meant like dating. You don't have to go to the gay bar. You just get the app.
Oh. See,
you're talking
that's
about
how
studying.
Much of a geek I am.
Anyways, so things have changed, and I think I'm so happy for the younger generations that they have all of this access to support.
Yes.
It might not be enough for some of the people in the smaller towns, but anyways.
But it's still better than ever.
Yes.
In terms of, just the culture, the what's reflected back to you in the mainstream. What kinds of mirrors, I guess, what kinds of representation. Because that's huge representation. And you know what? So interesting is especially this past Oscar season where Chloe Zhao was, won for Best Director. And and just to be able to see an Asian female, Asian, like stand
From
up there.
Star Wars.
What? Star Wars?
She looked like she was a Star Wars.
Yeah, her hair.
Cast
and her,
and
she
her-
did
and
look
her
like she could have been a
sand
character.
colored her sand colored outfit.
Yeah,
but anyways,
she did look
sorry.
like she
Go
could
ahead.
have been
Finish your.
yeah. But just to see somebody, what the heck was that? Oh my god! I thought it was a car siren. Okay,
We're okay.
oh jeez. We need a coffee break.
You're so funny. Okay, go ahead.
I was just really struck at seeing how it affected me in a very unexpected way. I wasn't preparing. Siena's laugh attack is continuing in silence here. She's just shaking. She's just shaking and wiping her eyes. I think we need to stop. I think we need to take a break.
No, go ahead. I want the people to hear about the about one of your first memories of being immersed
but
in
I just have
a sea of lesbians.
Okay, a sea of lesbians is coming up.
Yeah.
But first, your story just reminded me. Oh my god, what? So unprofessional. This recording session is just the height of amateurism.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying how important representation is.
All right,
And it's
done. You said it.
Well, no, but it's to the point where you don't know you're missing it until you have it.
Exactly.
It's like that song by Joni Mitchell, Big Yellow Taxi, and it's you don't know what you got till it's gone. Well, the opposite is also true. It's like you don't know what you lost till it's here.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
Yes. And we've talked about that feeling, especially when you attend a Pride event. Mm-hmm. You know?
And also, to see Asian people on screens, on TV screens and on movie screens. It's like, oh my gosh, wow, there's two Asians on screen at the same time and nobody else? It's like, wow.
But let's kind of scoot back into the lesbian portion of the... Yeah.
Back to the lesbian content. We're here for the lesbian content. So, my first memory of being among my people, so to speak, was, you could probably guess this, it was at an Indigo Girls concert.
Oh, really?
Okay, so this was at a time where two of my friends were guys, and we were all interested in audio engineering. And there was an Indigo Girls concert coming up, and I invited them. I said, hey, you guys want to go? And they were like, yeah. So the three of us, two straight guys and one Asian lesbian, we go to an Indigo Girls concert that is being held in an old gymnasium. And all of the three of us were just shocked.
It was a gym?
Yep.
So it was small.
Pretty small.
Wow, that must have been a great concert.
We had the quote unquote nosebleed seats. We were way up on the
high bleachers,
the highest bleachers at the opposite end of the stage. But it was great, and it was just amusing. I think to me and my friends. I don't know where they ended up using the bathroom, because the thing that struck me the most was how the sign for the men's bathroom had been taped over with a paper that said women's, because they knew there were going to be so many women there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, wow, oh my God, wow, this is a lot of lesbians. Like a lot.
Were you checking people
gym
out?
Full of lesbians. No, I was checking the Indigo Girls out. I had never thought, being born and raised in Hawaii, and also in Hilo, Hawaii, I had never thought I would ever see any of my favorite artists live.
That's
because
so
nobody
sad.
comes to Hilo. Well, I take that back. Randy Travis came to Hilo once, and I think Willie Nelson came to Hilo once. But so when I had the chance on the mainland to see like Indigo Girls, and I saw who else did I see?
Celine.
I saw Celine Dion, and I saw
Winona.
I saw Winona Judd. Yeah, and I was just like, every time I went to those, I was like, oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember seeing Amy Grant too. Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, I get to see these people. Yeah, but lesbians, whoo.
But did you have this feeling of like just that, like, wow, I'm not alone? Or were you just really, because you're such a huge fan, like, were you just more into that part? I could see how
It was more meaningful to me to be the fact that I was getting
Seeing
to see
them.
Indigo Girls for the first time. Yeah. And I gotta admit, like, this might sound really gross, and I'm not proud of it.
Oh, no.
But the fact that I'm with two straight guys, I probably was like acting like, like, oh, check out all of these girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's how you bond, right?
And I'll shut up
That's
now.
bonding.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Were you guys checking people out?
Maybe, but I guess
I mean,
the
that
main-
is like, look at all these girls.
Yeah. But as far as uppermost in my mind,
Yeah.
like what was most meaningful to me. Yeah.
You were like one of the guys having a beer.
Right. Even though I don't drink beer, but yes.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right.
That's a story from the late 90s.
Yeah.
That's like 30 years ago. You know what trips me out?
But
Is I remember being so infatuated with the 50s and particularly Elvis. I was really into Elvis. His 50s era, not his 70s era, not his jumpsuit time. But really being into that music and stuff, and kind of looking at that era as being like, wow, that was old, man. That was old.
yeah.
And it was 30 years before.
Right.
And now it's like, 30 years ago, it's like, whoa, that's old. Just the time warp of living your life.
All right.
Okay, that's
Thanks
your
so
lesbian
much for
content for the day.
listening. We hope you check out Ook Curious on Facebook or Instagram, depending on which one is your preference. And consider joining us for Pride Month, for the Pride Month Ook Challenge.
Happy Pride.
Until next time, this is Siena.
And this is Toast, as always. What am I saying? As always, encouraging you.
Let's just call it a day.
Encouraging you
just
to live
press
your love
that button.
story. Damn it.
Press
Live
that
your
button.
love story.